Hello, and welcome back to the Pure Nintendo podcast. This is your weekly dose of all things Nintendo. My name is Gemma, and joining me this week, I have once again my two excellent friends. Welcome back, Kirk. How are you this week?
I'm doing very well. I hope everyone is doing well too.
Yes, I am. Thank you. And welcome back, Rev. How are you?
Hey guys, I'm doing okay. Looking forward to chewing the fat, as it were.
That is an inside joke. We have a lot to talk about again this week. We have Pokemon Presents. It was Pokemon's anniversary, of course, just over the weekend, or was it Friday? I guess Friday. And there was a Treehouse Live from Nintendo, so we're going to talk about the games shown off there. Crack's Corner, as usual, as well as plenty of games we're playing. A huge list this week, which I'm very excited to get to. So let's start with the Pokemon anniversary, which was on February the 27th. Just a reminder, that means it was the day that the first Pokemon game was released in Japan 30 years ago. So it's the 30th anniversary. They kind of made it. I wanted to ask you guys actually, because we talked about the Zelda anniversary, right, last week. And we said fans celebrate anniversaries a bit more than developers, which is kind of true. And we also thought that Nintendo probably will do something for the Zelda anniversary, but it'll be delayed. But Pokemon is an interesting anomaly in a way, because they do take the anniversary a bit more seriously. Do you agree with that? I don't know. They mention
Probably. I mean, Pokemon's interesting because it's Nintendo, but it's not, right? It's Game Freak. It's
the Pokemon Company.
Yeah, which is sort of first party, but sort of independent. I don't know if that makes a difference, and how they do it, or also the fact that Pokemon is much more than games.
True.
I mean, games are probably a fraction of what Pokemon is, right? It's toys, it's shows and film, and
the cards, of course, the Pokemon
the
card game. Yes, that's a really good point. I think that's probably part of it. Absolutely, yeah. And maybe because maybe in a way, fans do drive it a little as well, just because it is like we have the Pokemon conventions. They mentioned something about a Pokemon. What was that thing in San Francisco they're doing? There's like people get together and celebrate it, and I think maybe it's the biggest of the fan events. I don't know. Maybe that drives it a little bit as well. So maybe they feel like they take it a bit more, I don't know, seriously. Anyway, Pokemon Presents, it's kind of this annual thing they do where it's like a direct, I suppose, right? And they go through all the updates that they're doing for Pokemon games and cards and events. There was a lot of little things there, which we won't go through in detail because it doesn't really affect us too much. Things like there's a Pokemon Cafe remix, and Pokemon Sleep has new missions. Pokemon Unite has some new Pokemon joining the fray, with more to come. They mentioned the card game, of course. One thing that was interesting that may have stood out to you, Trev, in particular, was the mini Game Boy music player. Did you see this? And what did you think of this?
It's funny, we joke about like how Kirk says how they call records vinyl. So what do we call this for music? Cartridge. Like
yeah.
It's I don't know if I've seen a less practical means to listen to music, because each of the carts is just one tune, and a lot of those tunes are under a minute. Are you going to want to be popping cartridges to hear 40 seconds of music, or even sound effects? They said sound effects, like, so. I mean, I imagine it's already sold out, I think. So I imagine it's one of those things collectors are going to get and leave in the box, or if they unbox it, they'll put it on their desk and never use it, because I can't imagine a more clunky means to listen to Game Boy music.
Yeah, it's interesting because you're right. I thought at first it was multiple soundtracks or something, on one soundtrack on each cartridge. But you're right, it's one song on it. So you'd have to listen to it for a minute and then change it, right? You can't just leave it on, can you? You can't just leave it playing.
I mean, it's like, I don't even know what to compare it to. Like when I was a kid, we had these things called Viewmasters, where you'd be like it'd be a little disc and you could flip through images, but even that gave you like, I don't know, a dozen or two images. Like
Interesting. I mean, it's
just
cute. The little mini Game Boy is very cute. I like the concept. I think if it was a whole soundtrack on a cartridge, that would be kind of cool. Like I love physical media, but yeah, it's very impractical.
it's a little too physical.
Is it loud enough, do you think, to drive people insane with it? Like a kid could get it and put on a special effect and just keep hitting it over and over and over again while the parents are in the car trying to hold a conversation?
Maybe.
Maybe
I,
that's
I
the
think
point.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that would classify as a mental disease if you hear too many Pokemon Game Boy tunes on a loop.
Yeah, 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 exactly. I wonder if it yeah, it doesn't download it to the system or anything, does it? It's not like it
No, you got to
unlocks.
put them in, pop them in.
Yeah.
It seems wasteful. I mean, is that a waste of plastic?
Mm, yeah.
And I resent it because they cut down on game manuals, right? Because that's a waste of paper. But what
True.
is this? All these, how many cartridges are there? Like 40?
45, I think?
My
Wow.
goodness.
Yeah. I'm sure and, like, it's they're Game Boy sounds, and they've worked really hard to make it sound like the Game Boy. I don't know why that is a thing. Why do you have to work hard to make it sound like the Game Boy? Don't they have those songs already?
I mean,
Anyway,
let's
sorry.
be honest, the Game Boy speaker wasn't exactly cutting edge tech, even at the time it was
Yeah, yeah,
released. It
yeah,
was
yeah.
dated.
Yeah. So I think you're right. I think it's a collector's thing. Huge fans will get it, maybe not even use it, maybe keep it in the box or just put it on their shelf or whatever. I don't know. Because it is very cute. I do like the look of the mini Game Boy. I think it's a cute little thing. When they started showing it, I was like, "Oh, are they gonna make it playable on a mini Game Boy?" Because Nintendo used to do that, like have the mini.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was called.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like the NES and SNES Mini
Well,
back in the
yeah.
day.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, oh
So
boy, a Game Boy, and you can play like Pokemon Red and Blue and Yellow and Crystal and
yeah. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that was interesting.
I'm wondering now, you guys know I'm not a huge Pokemon fan. I'm trying
Mhm,
to think if there was a single IP or franchise out there where I would buy something like this because I'm really into the game,
mhm.
and I
Fi
don't think there is. I
Right.
I I can't think of one.
So you wouldn't do it for Fire Emblem or Xenoblade?
No,
No? Okay.
no.
No. Okay. Yeah. Well, interesting. Was it for sale in the US as well? It's not just a Japan thing, is it? Did you know, Trev? I think it's what?
I don't.
I don't
I
know.
didn't look it
Okay.
up.
That's okay. I
I think I
thought
was
it
too
was.
flabbergasted once I realized what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It is very interesting. Well,
Kirk,
other
question for Kirk. They released Flash Gordon. You can watch it as Game Boy Video, which was a thing on the Game Boy Advance. Would
right?
you buy it?
Where I could watch the video, like just the
The
music
movie?
video or the whole movie.
No, the movie, but they to condense it, they have to put it on, I don't know, 30 Game Boy cartridges, and you can watch it in 3-minute increments.
I'd be like listening to albums on an 8-track player back in the day where you had to keep mid song it would fade out and you had to flip it over or something and or no switch like the channel or yeah, no. You know
Oh.
what I would do? I would if they took the entire movie for Flash Gordon and remade it in Game Boy graphics and I could just watch the movie with Game Boy style presentation, I would do that.
Ooh.
Yes. You would add that to your collection of Flash
Yes.
Gordon media. Yeah. That's hilarious. Okay, well, yeah, let us know, listeners, what you think of this mini Game Boy music player. Did you pre-order it maybe? I don't know. It's a strange concept. I don't know why it's just not on one cartridge. That would make way more sense. And then they could have other games, right? If they wanted to, if it was popular. They could release other games on other cartridges, which is what I thought it was at first. Like, okay. But no, 45 cartridges, one song a cartridge. Okay.
What does the screen do while the music's playing?
I think it has little pictures of the game on it, doesn't it? I don't know if it's a
You know what
static.
else does that? The Nintendo Music app,
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
you probably can carry in your in your pocket on your cell phone.
Yeah, I did think that as well. Oh, it was available from the Pokemon Center in North America and the UK. apparently, but not Australia or New Zealand. Huh, interesting. So yeah, that's the other thing. It clashes completely with the Nintendo Music app, and I think at least Leaf Green and Fire Red were released on Nintendo Music. Maybe not the original, because the original is Game Boy, whereas this was Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, I
But
think they had GBA ones,
mm,
Nintendo Music.
so they are already on Nintendo Music, which is cool. In fact, I listened to those. But yeah, so I don't know. I think it's just a random collector's item. Honestly, what else could it be?
Yeah,
The boxing is
it is
huge too.
random.
Did you see the box? Like the Game Boy is such a small. It's a very mini thing, and the cartridges are very small.
Yeah.
Honestly, the packaging is quite big in comparison. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's just a
Mm.
trial. Let's see how this goes. I don't know.
You know, the fans are going to buy anything, and
Mm.
honestly, for all our joking, I mean, if you're going to have fun with this, more power to you.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah. Of
sure
course.
I collect things that people would think are goofy too, but I just don't know. I don't know what their target was. Like,
Mm,
what was their
mhm.
thinking? If you could be a fly on the wall in the Pokemon offices and be like, we want to have these songs on individual cards, 30 seconds each.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, hopefully if they're fans themselves and they thought this is something I would like, then that hits the target, I guess, the audience, I suppose. I don't know.
Like, you guys have kids, like Gemma, Kirk. Like, did your kids grow up with Pokemon? Like, do you?
Yeah,
Because
mine did.
when they came out for me, I think I was maybe a smidge old. I would have been in one of my teens anyway. But
Mm.
I don't know. I didn't catch on to Pokemon until later in life. Like, do you think your kids would have liked this? Like back in the I
No,
don't know.
I don't think so. They weren't like they never played the Game Boy games. Obviously, they're not that old. They're young still.
Yeah.
They grew up more with the cards and the show, I suppose, in the movies, more so than even the games. They've played the newer games though, like Let's Go Eevee. Hayden really liked that one. They've played Violet a little bit, I think, Scarlet Violet. Hayden was into Legends EA a little bit last year with me. He started a profile and was playing that. But yeah, no, I don't think they would want. I don't know. It's a really good question. Like,
It's like you need a kid who's too young to like remember a Walkman, but old enough
yeah,
to have played these games maybe when they were kids.
mm,
Like, it's a very narrow window of collector.
yeah, 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 exactly. I don't know. I don't know. But if it's sold out, like you said, then maybe they made a very limited run though of them, so it's not many available. But there were other game announcements during the Pokemon Presents. If we're happy to move on from the mini player, Pokemon XD, is that how they say it? I guess Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. It's coming to the GameCube, the online classics on the Switch 2, I guess, isn't it? This month because now it's March. We've left February behind, so it is March, and not for you guys while we're recording though, but for me it is.
You're in the future,
I'm in
Gemma.
the future, yeah. I wasn't aware of this particular title previously. I don't know if you were either, Trev, but it does look pretty cool. Have you heard of this one before?
I was aware of it. I remember it like from Nintendo Power back in the day.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
Not one I owned, but this was probably my announcement of the
Hmm.
presentation because I realized talking about like music player and cards and mobile apps that I'm really only a Pokemon fan for the console games.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And obviously this one, the GameCube, which all of us love the GameCube, and
Mm.
this is one I missed back in the day. And if I wanted it proper now, it's triple digits. So I think this is a great way to give it, um, an audience access to it without having to break the bank.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It first came out in 2005. Yeah, I have not played it either, so I'm looking forward to giving this one a try. It does look pretty cool from the trailer. If you're listening to this on YouTube, you will see the trailer while we're talking. I would definitely give it a go. They didn't give us a date; it was just this month, so sometime during. Oh, sorry, it was March. So sometime during March. So that will be one to look forward to for sure. We'll talk about that when it comes out, I guess, and when we've had a chance to play it. There were kind of two other there's a few other games, I suppose, but Pokemon Champions is one they've been talking about a little bit the last, I don't know, at least the last year. It was in the last Pokemon Presents, and that's coming in April 2026. Again, no date, just a month window. This is one that looks like it spans across devices. Like you can play on your mobile and on your Switch, and it's about battling, like doing battles, right, with other people. I'm not sure if that's of interest to you, Trev, or not. This one,
Not
not
particularly for
particularly.
me.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty neat, and I get why some people would be interested. It's probably not something I'm super interested in either. I might give it a go, depending on what it looks like in terms of how expensive it is or whatever. Yeah, I'm curious, but I'm probably more into the story-based games, and I don't know if this is that. This seems to be more about getting online and playing with other people, getting together with a group of friends, etc., which will be cool
Yeah,
if
I'd get
yeah.
wiped out. I don't have enough experience.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I
right. Yeah.
suppose I could play Kirk, and then I'd feel like I was on a level playing field maybe, but,
Yeah.
um,
Is that gonna
yeah.
happen, Kirk? No.
Hey, however I can help others out, I'm always willing to do so.
Yes. You're always there for us. Thank you.
Always willing to lose and be worse at something than other people.
They also showed us the Mega Dimension DLC trailer. I feel like this was already the thing that's out. They didn't show us anything new, right? It was just like, don't forget, there's DLC for Pokemon Legends. That wasn't new, was it, Trev? To you?
I don't well, I haven't played the DLC, but, yeah, I don't think so,
No, I didn't think so either.
unless there's waves of DLC that I missed.
No, well, I
Um,
thought there were 2 waves, but I hadn't heard anything about the second one, so I believe this was just the first one. So hopefully I'm right about that. So
it's
it
probably
did
just to keep it in
I
focus.
think
It's
so.
a
Yeah.
game that's been selling well, and it's a game that's on Switch and Switch 2, so
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So that's cool. The DLC is out there. I have got that actually. I have started it. I haven't really got too far with it, unfortunately, but it is pretty cool. It extends the story, obviously, gives you more to do, and it is a great game, of course. We both loved it, didn't we, Trev? So,
our favorite of the year
yeah,
overall.
yeah, our game of 2025. So Pokopia was shown off as well with a new trailer. We probably won't get too much into that because that was also in the Treehouse Live event. So we'll wait for that to talk about that one. And then the big announcement, which I think Justin kind of predicted this, didn't he, in his predictions for this year, was the Gen 10, I suppose, Generation 10 Pokemon, and the next big Pokemon game, which is Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves, which is set to release, they just said 2027, no date or window there. What do we think about this one, Trev? Do you like the look of it? This sort of the graphics, the visuals, the trailer was pretty nice. There's 3 starters. I'm interested in which one you prefer out of those 3 and when we think it might release in 2027, I guess, if we had to have a guess. But yeah, what did you think of the trailer?
I mean, it certainly looked good. I know
Mhm.
people have criticized Pokemon for having like dated visuals. I thought it looked good, but of course, most of the footage they showed for not just this game, but a lot of the stuff, they would have the little disclaimer like it doesn't represent the final build. So
Mm,
um, who,
mhm.
who knows how far are into it if
Yeah,
it's not coming out till 2027. Um,
that's
yeah,
true.
I don't know. I'd be more excited if they pegged it for like a fourth quarter release this year, like a holiday season release or something.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a lot of mixed feelings about that, I think, judging by the reaction online. Some people are like, great, that's, give us more time because we want it to be, polished. A lot of people were thinking of Scarlet and Violet, which they felt was kind of rushed. Didn't have the greatest reception because of some of the frame rate issues that game had. So some people are, yeah, great, take your time, get it right. Looking forward to it. Others are like, 2027? What? Kind of like you, I suppose.
Mhm.
They're looking for a 2026 release. They're surprised it's such a long wait.
The only good thing about that is I was looking up the predictions,
Hmm.
and Justin did predict that it would be announced, but he also predicted it would be released this year. So
Ooh.
he only gets half a point.
He does. Yes. Oh my
So
goodness. Technicality.
that's the only good thing because he's probably going to beat me again, but at least I can keep it semi close.
That is a very good point. Yes. Yeah, I think the trailer looked really, really great. Actually, I think it looked pretty superb. As you said, it does have that little disclaimer. A lot of the trailers did, where it's like, "This is not actual game footage. It's a game in development." So, it is going to be a Switch 2 exclusive. So this won't be a Switch 1 game. And it seemed like people were okay with that online. People were sort of saying, "Yep, time to let go." Not let go exactly, but time to push Pokemon into the next categories, I suppose, or generation for graphics. Hopefully that means, yeah, it's going to look really nice. It's going to run really well. Would you have a choice out of waves and winds at this very early stage if you're going to choose one?
I think Wins the logo is green, right? So I'd pick that just because I like green, and
Yes.
I fear waves maybe have too much water. Right? Isn't that the joke with Pokemon? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, there was a segment in the trailer where they did go underwater. That looked pretty neat. You know how I feel about water temples in Zelda games, so I would definitely also choose winds because I'm not. I don't love the water stages, so winds would be my pick. Also, if you were going to choose one of the starters, Brout, Pombon, or Gekwa, which I have to say these are very awkward names.
you said them better than I said them in my head.
I've I've practiced a few times. I had to like check the spelling. I'm like, bro, BRO what? But would you choose? I would mean I'd guess you choose the green one probably. But there's the Brout, which is like an owl-based grass type. Pombon is sort of a dog, like a little Pomeranian type of dog, sort of styled Pokemon who's the fire type, and Gekwa is the water type, and he's like a little blue gecko type of thing. So they're all kind of cute. But which one would you choose? Do you reckon?
Yeah, I'd probably pick, what is it?
Brout?
Brout?
Yeah.
Brout? Like, it's hard to say. Probably just solely from a color perspective, but
Mm,
you never know how they're gonna look too once they evolve or whatever. So,
true. Yes, that is very true.
and I feel like maybe who's the fire one? Pom Bomb.
Pombon, yeah.
I feel like maybe they're easier, like the
Mhm.
fire ones,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's hard to tell. Each game kind of flows up, for as predictable as they can be. They have a
Mm,
little different. So I
yeah.
don't know. What about you?
Well, I do tend to choose the grass type, the green, essentially. Although, cuteness is a factor too. Probably Browse, but yeah, I don't mind Pombon either because he does look kind of cute. Kirk, do you want to weigh in even though you have no idea what we're talking about? Can you choose one of those three? Do you know what they even look like?
Let's go with Pombon, just based on the way you've described it,
Okay.
him, her.
Yeah, I guess it's
Um,
actually an it. They can be male or female, so, like, yeah, but you can say it, I suppose. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
I think I would rather have like a dog style thing as my first.
Okay, that's cool. That's Kirk's made a decision. That means he's gonna play this game. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. That was a good discussion on Pokemon. Do we want to say anything else before we move on to the Treehouse Live? Anything, Trev,
No
you want to
love
add?
for Gekwa.
Gekwa. I know. I'm sure some people love the water-based ones. Like I like Squirtle. I don't mind the water-based Pokemon. I just don't like the water levels.
I did pick water for what was the last one on 3DS? Sun, Moon. I
Oh,
picked water
yeah.
start for that one. So
Cool. Hmm.
you should do a little poll in YouTube there, Gemma.
Yes, actually, that is a good point. I will do that. Thank you. Hmm. Cool. Well, let's move on to the next presentation from Nintendo, which was a Treehouse Live event, and it was for Super Mario Wonder and Pokemon Pokopia. And we'll mostly be talking about Mario Wonder because I think Trevor and I both watched that. Did you watch this by any chance, Kirk?
No,
No.
don't be mad. Don't be mad.
It's fine. It's fine.
It was a busy work week.
Yeah, no, that's all good. So
Nintendo needs to release it on 40 Game Boy carts. I can watch it in increments.
imagine if each one of these Bell Bell Park games was on one little cart. Like,
Oh
let's
man, that'd be
let's
like
switch the cart to play whatever it is, Bubble Blaster.
what was that Game Boy thing back in the day? The e-reader? Remember that?
Oh yeah. Hmm.
That's like that kind of.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, what did we think? It was very much about the sort of multiplayer games. They didn't really show. They mentioned the Koopalings. They did not show anything to do with that, which is fine. I'm happy to keep that a surprise, but I just still don't know what that entails. They sort of said you're going to have to get clues from the Toad Brigade to find the Koopalings. That's what I'm hoping is just really deeper than anything else, because I just want more challenge. And they even mentioned the challenge because, some of these levels they did looked pretty easy, like the star one that they started off with Rosalina. And he even said, if that looks easy to you, there's harder levels. I'm like, okay, I hope so.
Well, he activated what? The wall jump badge?
He
So
did. He made it
it's
very
like
easy
he
for
barely had
himself.
to try.
Yeah, exactly. So they showed quite a few. I don't know if you want to just pick the ones you liked or go through them all, but what did you think overall, I guess, of the Toad Brigade? Well, there's the Toad Brigade, and then they went off to do these, what is it? I don't even remember what it's called, sorry. There's all these little areas you can walk around and play multiplayer games or single player games. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Mario U Deluxe had these kinds of things already. Do you remember that? They had the challenges?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I'll say this. What I liked about the presentation and the one advantage of doing it in Treehouse versus a direct
Mhm.
is I think it helped me better envision what it would be like, sitting with friends on the couch because you heard the guys kind of, yelling and laughing and
Mm.
trash
Mhm.
talking
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
what it's about.
Yeah.
The games on their own maybe aren't terribly exciting to me, but collectively, I was trying to imagine. I'd be like, yeah, if I had so and so here and so and we were playing it, I'm sure we'd have a fun time.
Mhm.
So it was good that they did it this way in a treehouse. It played to their strengths.
Yeah, that makes sense. I agree. Yeah, you're right, because it does look fun when you're playing together. Those co-op levels and the versus levels, some of them do look pretty fun. Like the donut maker, where you go along and make little donuts, platforms for people to walk on. They did the bob-omb relay, which looked pretty stressful, and that one they didn't get through. They died during that one. That one looked kind of fun. Then there were the co-op ones, and there's the versus levels. They had the bubble blaster, which is where you have to push each other into the the lava. And there's like a lot of different levels within. Like the donut maker has a bunch of different levels that you can do this donut making business in. Looks like same with bob on relay.
You know what I liked about the donut one
Yeah.
is I feel like you could play it like how you want. Like if you want to really be attentive and help everyone, you can be laying out, you know, carefully things, so they're not going to fall or so they
Mm.
can bounce where they be. Or you could play, and kind of be like a jerk and try to block a friend and have them bounce off it. Or I like options like that because,
Mm.
I like co-op play, but eventually, you want to be mischievous. You might get bored. And
Yeah.
vice
Yeah.
versa. I like competitive, but at some point you just want to, try to plow through the levels. So
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. And so I don't know, they said there were 17 in at least one of these sections, or total, I can't remember, but there's a lot of different games to choose from. The battle royale, which was like don't fall drop down, looked pretty neat as well, where you have to stand on the like elevators or whatever, and they have a countdown, and once the number gets to 0, it disappears. You have
oh
to
yeah.
jump around and try to stay, stay afloat and not fall. And you have to, I guess the goal is to be the one with the most lives left at the end. You start off with like 9, I think. So there is a lot there. I mean, yeah, it seems like a lot of mini games. It is about playing together. I would still like more levels. Like that's what I really want, is more levels and more hard levels. But I am hoping that's what the Kooplings will give us. That's my desire, my wish. But it does look fun. So we'll see. It comes out March the 26th, I believe, was the date, which is only a few weeks away. We will definitely be playing it. I will definitely be playing it. Probably will be reviewing it as well. But yeah, we'll see how we go when it comes out. I want to know what listeners think of this as well. Are they excited for Mario Wonder extra content? What else would you like to add to that, Trev, before we go to Pokemon Pokopia?
Um, gosh, I don't know. I did kind of like. Maybe you mentioned it, or maybe we mentioned it quickly, but they had that little tag game where you had like the
Oh yeah.
Phantom Mask.
Hmm.
I thought that was fun, and that's the sort of thing like we would kind of like with friends. I
Mm.
feel like that's the sort of thing we might do anyway. Like even like in Animal Crossing, it's like, oh, let's play tag, or
Yeah.
I don't know if um I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Like,
It looks fun enough.
yeah.
Hopefully, those picking it up have friends and ideally local friends or family that we can
Yeah.
enjoy it with.
Yeah. I think it would be better in person. I think, you know, if you've got I guess the Switch 2 has the game chat, so you could do, because it's obviously there's online. They said up to
That's true.
was it 12 people or something for some of
Oh,
these
I thought I
stuff.
remembered 8 because they said we have 4, and imagine how chaotic it would be if it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
maybe it's 12. You might be right.
I think it was maybe 8 with game share and 12 online or something. I can't remember now the details, but yeah, it was a lot more than what
Um,
they were showing. They just had the 4.
yeah, I think that sounds right. What you said.
Yeah. So looks like there's a lot to go through. I think Fanto, I'm glad you mentioned that one because Fanto is a bit obscure. Like that's from Mario Brothers 2.
Yeah,
Yeah. Used to chase you around. You used to pick up a key, and then the Phantom Mask would sort of activate and start chasing you around, which is always kind of stressful as a kid. I'm like, this creepy mask is
yeah.
chasing me. So,
And you'd see how close he can after a while. Be like, how close can he get? Like, and then I
yeah.
check the key at the last second. Like,
Mm.
ideally,
Hmm.
what Nintendo would do, and I'm talking about Nintendo of America, Nintendo Europe, Australia,
Hmm.
promoting this game, they should give outlets like half a dozen codes so the whole
Mm.
crew can
True.
play
Yeah.
and experience it. Because I feel like a lot of people who review these type of games maybe aren't set up for it.
Yeah, that's a good
There's no
point.
point in
Mm.
like a solo guy reviewing a party game. So
Mm. Hmm. That is a
hint,
really good
hint,
point. Yeah.
Nintendo.
Yeah. 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 We'll see what happens, but that is an
How
excellent
else
point.
are we going to get Kirk to play this? Let's be honest. We need a code.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I have. I reviewed Wonder Forest, didn't I?
You did have the code for it. I think we did either a co-review or I ended up writing it just because I had thoughts, so many thoughts. But I think we did something together,
Yeah.
didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah, because I did play. In fact, I was going to ask you guys. I didn't watch the Treehouse, so most of this I'm learning about as you're talking about it.
Mm.
But the co-op and versus content, do you see that as what could be a good replacement or supplement for, let's say, my New Year's Eve tradition of playing Super Mario Party? Um,
Mm.
and because the mini games are the big attraction for that, really, when we're all in the room playing together. So how could this fit in with that, do you think?
Yeah, potentially. If you find a few that you really relate to, that you really like, that work well for you and your family, that could definitely be the case. Uh, Yeah, you'd have to try them and see, but, I mean, there's a lot of variety, like this Fanta tag. They're very quick and short, though, right, Trev? Like, Fanta tag, I don't know how long the round is, but you just chase each other. It's the
Yeah.
last person with the phantom thing,
I
right?
don't know if I like with Mario Party, I feel like the board, the structure just kind of ties it all together. And
Mm. Do you play the board game as well on New Year's Eve,
Oh
Kirk?
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
every time. Yeah.
So, that would give you more time, as in, I don't know if you'd spend an hour on this, maybe, but I don't know.
I
'Cause you
think it could augment like an existing game night if you played a few games,
Yeah, mhm,
but I don't know if I would. Of course, we're just guessing because we've only seen footage, but I don't
mm,
think I would replace Mario Party for me personally.
yeah. Yeah, especially the latest one, that was a pretty big one, and that has, what, 100 and something mini games as well. This one has I don't know whether it was 17 just in the co-op versus area, or each one had 17, and then there's the Toad Brigade as well, which is kind of which can be done together. You don't have to play that solo, and that's like your missions, like staying invincible during the whole level, or skating through a level within a time limit, or something like that. Like, yeah, different sort of multiplayer. Yeah, and there's races. Like, there's the one. What was the one that was a race? Oh, the bouncy ball race, where they're bouncing through the level, and you have to sort of be the first one to win. Yeah. There is a lot there. But yeah, I think it's different to Mario Party. So, interesting. Shall we move on to Pokemon Pokopia? Which I think I'm the only one who watched this. So,
I did. I tuned out after the end of the Wonder footage, so
yeah, I mean, it
sorry about
was
that.
oh well, that it is what it is, I think. And I tried to stick with it for the show, of course. Pokemon Pokopia, it is out this week, so it's out on the 5th of March. So that's very soon. We will hopefully be reviewing it. I don't know who's going to do that, but we'll find out. And I mean, this is shaping up to be quite popular by the sounds of it. I mean, I'm seeing chatter online. People are seemingly quite engaged and interested with this one. I think Pokemon, like we said earlier, Pokemon is just this juggernaut. It's huge. It's popular. It looks very much like a Minecraft Animal Crossing style, or they're calling it sort of what is it, Dragon Quest Builders? It's a bit like that as well, I think. It looks like there's a
Mm,
lot to it, though. There is a lot to it. They went through some of the gameplay elements, like how to build things, how to use Pokemon to build things. So each Pokemon you discover gives you an ability to do something. You can sort of talk to the Pokemon and they follow you and help you with things as missions. There's also multiplayer as well, so you can jump in and build together and things like that. So I think again, this is very much about that shared experience. So it will definitely have an audience, whether it's the big seller, a big Pokemon seller or not, that we're used to. We'll find out. But yeah, it's certainly shaping up to be something unique for the Pokemon franchise. Um, I don't really have anything else to add to that. I think it is what it is. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Like, I'm just not a super sim fan, life sim, whatever you call it, person. So
yeah, there's a lot of life sims.
yeah. I think it just takes a lot of time that I don't have. So I mean, I get it. I think it's cute. I am sort of interested, but it's like Animal Crossing. I just don't go and tend to my island, and so it just sits there doing nothing. So I kind of just I like levels. I like a goal, and there's probably a story that goes with this. I'm sure there is a goal to be fulfilled. But yeah, anyway, did you guys have any questions about that? Which I may or may not be able to answer anyway. But
I
I
feel like I've
didn't.
been seeing a lot of, and that's part of the reason I didn't watch it too. I'm not terribly interested, but
Mhm.
they showed it in the present. I've also been seeing a
Mm.
lot of trailers
Yeah.
for it, like on YouTube. So I feel like they're trying to market it. I don't imagine it's gonna pull the type of numbers that like the mainstream games do, or even like Legends EA has been doing. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, people love life sims,
They
and
do. Mhm.
maybe I don't know. I don't know. It's like I have a hard enough time juggling my own life,
Yeah.
let alone a virtual one. But
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I know, it's tricky. It's very tricky. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I don't know. It could be really popular. Like you said, people love life sims and they love Pokemon. So it could be the perfect combination, or it may not perform as well as, like you said, Legends, etc. We shall see. The other quick piece of news before we get on to Kirk's Corner is that Balatro has a Switch 2 edition that just randomly came out this week or last week. And the reason I mention it is A, it's available, it's free if you have the Switch 1 edition. So you can go in and download that. And B, it doesn't, the weird thing is though, it doesn't seem to carry across your save data for some reason, which is really interesting. And I know it frustrated a few people because they have, they've played Balatro on Switch One a lot. They've unlocked a lot of decks and jokers and whatnot, and now they have to start from scratch. I don't know why. I've never seen this before. Most Switch Two editions it's just an upgrade, but I think this is like a separate instance of Balatro. I think you can play the original as well, like separately. So yeah.
well, what's new to this version other than like resolution?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just the resolution. Or is there mouse controls? Oh, I didn't test that. I did
But
download
like
it.
gameplay, like content, like there's
I don't think there's any new content.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know why they wouldn't let you carry.
I
Maybe
know
it's a like a
it's
bug
yeah, it
they're
must
working on.
be. Maybe they'll fix that. Because I saw it, I was just looking in the eShop just to see what was out, and I saw it there, and it's weird because it has the price, and then it's crossed out. It says free. And I'm like, what? Is this just because I have the original? Which yeah, it must be the case. It is 20% off though anyway if you don't have the original, so it's only 11.99, which is pretty good. It's usually 15, so it's not that expensive anyway. Yeah, that's just enhanced resolution and graphics. I couldn't tell. Like, I can't tell the difference between, uh, you know, that. It's a card game, right? So it still looks good, but it's kind of pixelated anyway, like it's meant to be. It's kind of looks kind of retro. It's a fun game, you know. I like this game. It's a very popular game. I had a few rounds, and I had one particularly good round, which was awesome. I didn't really care too much about my save data because I never really progressed that far with it. I played it a fair bit, but I wasn't very either wasn't very good or just didn't have the luck of the jokers. So I didn't really unlock a whole lot. So yeah, it didn't really bother me too much. But I know some people are really like, you know, they dedicated into doing all the things. Like you're supposed to play with every deck and unlock, you know, achievements and cards. There's a little, I think it's 150 things to unlock or something like that. And so it tells you like this little screen with all your stats. If you were that sort of person, that would be annoying, unless it was a good reason to do it again, in which case, hey, that's great. So,
I
yeah.
want the Balatro Game Boy where each card is a cartridge.
Yes. This is going to be a thing now, isn't it?
For a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, that wouldn't be annoying at all, would it? And you're
Only
like trying
what,
to find,
150 you said?
yeah. You're trying to find your like ace of spades. Which one is it? Oh my goodness. Anyway,
Yeah, they got to make like a little desk unit where we could put each one of those cartridges in, flip through them like a Rolodex.
Oh
yeah,
man,
yes, exactly.
the
That's it.
marketing potential.
Yeah, that's it. And yeah, I do think it has mouse controls, the Switch 2 edition, I believe. I totally forgot about that, and I didn't even try it when I was playing it. So, whoops. But that would be cool. I think that's one key difference because yeah, I guess it would help. I mean, I do like that it has touchscreen controls already. So if you're playing in handheld mode, you can just touch the cards you want to play. Very easy to do. Mouse controls, I guess, would work fairly well. I'll give it a go. Anyway, let's move on unless someone was about to ask a question.
I'm just going to say with the mouse
Yeah.
controls, I'm hoping they let you just use one. And the only reason I say that is because recently I posted a review for Switch 2 Animal Crossing, which probably get hate mail for. But the mouse controls on that, not only were they limited to certain situations, but you'd have to detach both Joy-Cons just to use it,
Oh,
which
okay.
annoyed the heck out of me because
Oh, because
I couldn't
you're in
figure out a
handheld.
reason why.
Was that because you're in handheld mode?
No, either. Dock
But
handheld, and I'm like, I'm just using the right one. Why do I have to detach them both? But
like you were just using it sort of um horizontally.
like you can only use it like for like decorating and I think for the message board.
Hmm.
But and I had just got done with Broken Sword, which had really good mouse controls because I detached it and I used it like a mouse. So I'm like, why is Animal Crossing so clunky? This is
Hmm.
Nintendo's game and this is their gimmick for the Switch too. Why is it so clunky? And I couldn't really
Hmm.
figure out a reason why, but
Yeah, I guess it sounds like they probably should have done a new Animal Crossing and, you know, from the ground up for the Switch 2 kind of thing. Maybe that would have been better
I
than
don't know.
yeah.
It probably bugged me more than it would bug a lot, but it just when you were talking about mouse controls, I'm like, I wonder if that's a random thing or if different games do it differently. I don't know.
Yeah. I assume with Balatro it would be in the whole game just because it's a very simple game, isn't it? You're just playing round after round of cards, like poker. Yeah. Yeah, and there's a shop at the end of each round and you can buy things, so I'm guessing the mouse control will just let you select what you wanna buy. I don't know. The controls are very good for Balatro though, which is probably why I didn't think to even try the mouse controls. It's very easy. You know, they've got it's set up pretty well. I like the way they've done it. Yeah. Anyway, enough from me. Let's move on to Kirk's corner. What have you got for us this week, Kirk?
I've got, at least by title only, perhaps the single most Kirk game ever made. This one is called 70 Style Robot Anime Geppy X High Res Remastered Edition.
Wow.
Right? Doesn't it just sound great?
It does.
This is a remaster of an old game. I guess it comes from 1999. PlayStation only, Japan only.
Cool.
It is a horizontal shooter. that pays homage to the mecha anime of the 1970s, such as Mazinger. I think in the US, from my childhood anyway, Mattel made a toy line that was based on that called Shogun Warriors. And the robots that you could see in it's actually hard to find information on this yet, but there is a trailer. So
Mm.
hopefully we get that running in the background while we're talking here. But they've got that slick style of the Japanese robots from the 70s when it was more about making them look cool than making them look, functional and practical. So great. But the original game that this out with, it was a CD-ROM game at the time, and it says that it spanned 4 discs on the CD-ROM and featured over 8,000 hand-drawn animation frames
Wow.
for a 2D shooter, which just seems crazy to me.
I love that.
Yeah, but yeah, so it's a shooter game. There are different. It looks like you could swap out different robots that have different abilities. There's one that has more balanced precision. There's one that's speedier. There's one that has more power, but is a little more high risk to utilize. So it just looks really slick. The graphics still look a bit dated to me, but I think they're honoring that period. They're honoring both 70s anime and 90s CD-ROM games, and it looks like they've done a pretty good job of it. So it comes with a lot of modern abilities, such as it's going to have the rewind function that we see a lot now, rapid fire, quick saves. There's a CRT filter mode, so you can make it look like the TVs back when you used to watch these shows. All kinds of things like that. So I owned one of the Shogun Warriors when I was a kid. I think there was that. They also had here we go again. They sold Godzilla in this toy line too, and I don't know why. But yeah, you could like shoot off Godzilla's fists. That was one of the things that they had. Some of these robots, I believe these may have been amongst the first where they decided that they weren't going to shoot little bombs out of their fists because of the choking hazard of kids swallowing them,
Right. Mm.
which happened quite a bit, I guess, in the 70s. Toy lines being altered for that reason.
Mm.
But yeah, this one just appeals to me on a visual standpoint more than anything else. I'm not huge into those kind of bullet hell shooters, but I'd definitely be getting this one. Sure.
Yeah, it looks great. I do love shooters, and I love the look of this one, and I love that it's hand drawn, like 8,000 hand drawn animation cells. Like that's dedication.
It
That's
really is. Yeah.
yeah, but I think that's really neat because that's kind of a lost art in a way. Everything's CGI now, right? But to
Mhm.
actually use hand drawn animation cells, that's really cool. Yeah, and they do a comparison. We'll pop the video up if you're watching this on YouTube. They do a comparison between the original game and the what they've called the rescanned footage, which looks pretty neat as well. Like you can tell it's a lot clearer, this new version. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And they do stay in the press release too. It's not just an upscale; it's a full restoration
right.
of the anime era production. And they say that part of one of the reasons why it spanned 4 discs is because they didn't really want it to feel like a game inspired by an anime so
Mm.
much as this is a TV episode of an anime that you can play.
Yeah, right. Well, the trailer definitely captures that spirit, I think, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Very cool.
We will be waiting. Sadly, it doesn't come out until July 16th. I don't know if I said that, of 2026. So we've got a few months, 4 months, I guess, 5.
Yeah,
Um,
a little bit of time there, but that's
but
okay.
yeah, definitely one to look forward to.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you, Kirk. Another successful. We need a little tune for Kirk's corner so I can play you out at the end.
Yeah, something from this era. Give me like a 70s soundtrack,
Yes.
70s anime soundtrack. Oh, so sweet, so sweet.
Very cool. Very cool.
Hey,
Excellent.
we missed the obvious question about this game.
What's that?
If it came out on 4 CDs, how many
Mhm.
cartridges is it going to come out?
I would swap them. I'd do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
4,000 different cartridges.
Oh my gosh, that's good. That's good. All right. Well, thank you, Kirk. Let's move on to the games we're playing. We have a very big list this week, which is awesome. I am super excited to talk about Resident Evil because Kirk and I are playing one each. Unfortunately, we're not playing 9 for some reason. I'm playing 7, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, and Kirk is playing Resident Evil Village. I'm very keen to hear your thoughts on Village, but I will talk about 7 Biohazard first. Now, these two, along with Requiem 9, just came out on February 27th. So also Pokemon Day. It was also Resident Evil Day in a way. And it's the 30th anniversary also of Resident Evil. Did you guys know that? It
I'd
is.
forgotten. Now that you said it, I know
Yeah.
it. But
96 was the first one. So yeah. So Resident Evil 7, I'm reviewing this one, and at first when Kirk's like, hey, we got 7 and 8 codes, who's going to review it? I'm like, fine, I'll do it. I am loving this game. This is great. And I mean, you know how I feel about horror games and first person games, not strongly. I love horror movies. Horror games are a bit too scary. This is scary. I will tell you that straight up front. This is terrifying. It is really, really scary, but it's also really, really good. And I'm having a great time with it. So call me a convert. It is, I think it's the first person outing for a Resident Evil game. I don't believe they were all done this way. Resident Evil 7 was also kind of not a reboot exactly, but it was a return to form for the series because 4, 5, and 6 were more action-based outings. 7 has gone back to that kind of exploration, spookiness. You're in a house looking for clues and you don't know what's around the corner. It's very dark. You just have a torch. Yeah, and it's like I said, it's scary. It is really scary, especially at the beginning when you don't have any weapons and you're just avoiding things and you don't know what is coming next. And things come and they jump at you and there are jump scares. And I got jump scared many times. But
you're playing it in the dark, like at night.
I tried not to do that. No, the first day that I played it, which was last weekend, it was daytime actually, and I was still scared. So but they've done a really good job. The atmosphere is just fantastic. It's just like a horror movie. I feel like I'm in a horror movie, and they've done a really good job. It looks fantastic. Switch 2, it just looks great. It looks really, really good. The game is, I guess, originally a 2017 game, so it's a few years old now. But this is the gold edition, which includes bonus content like DLC and stuff. There's the one thing I will say that I really found quite engaging and interesting was you get these videotapes occasionally that you find, and you have this old VCR that you find, and you put the videotapes into the VCR and you watch a little cutscene, and you're like, okay, time to chill while the cutscene plays. No, you play in the cutscene. You take on the role of whoever is in the video, and
Oh, that's cool.
it is so cool. It's also chilling because when you're the protagonist in the main game, I mean, you can die, of course, because you're playing and you might die, but you come back and you try again, right? You know the protagonist is probably going to make it to the end of the game. When you're in the video, anything could happen. You're not playing as the protagonist anymore. You're playing as some other character, and you don't know what's going to happen to this character. And it's pretty brutal sometimes. So yeah, it's a really cool little mechanic. I don't know if this has been done elsewhere, not to my knowledge, but this is also not my usual style of game. So it might be done everywhere. I don't know, but I really enjoyed that. I really, really enjoyed that. There was one of the videos was like 2 dudes who were like on a ghost hunting kind of mission. Like they were just doing like a YouTube video of something, probably not YouTube because I think it's maybe set in 2017, I think. Anyway, they were shooting a video for whatever reason because they found this haunted house and they wanted to do a video on it. And it's just terrifying because they are like joking about it, thinking, yeah, this is just another house that's
Like
not.
Urban Explorers.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. And one of them just randomly disappears all of a sudden. And you're like, what? Where did he go? What's happening? And you're the camera guy, so you're seeing it from a first person perspective. And so you're shooting the movie. And you're thinking, my protagonist that I'm playing as, Ethan, he's watching this. And you're recording it. Like it blows my mind a little bit. It's just so cool. So yeah, I really love this game. I've written up my review. I haven't sent it to the team yet for proofreading. That will happen very soon. So the review should be up very soon. So watch for that. But it will be getting a good score because I've really enjoyed this game, as terrified as I am. I persisted. At first I played it, I'm like, no, I can't do this. And then I went back and played it again. It's not terribly long. I think it's like 12-ish hours. There's one little glitch though, actually. which I wanted to ask you if you have the same issue, Kirk. So the save, you have a bunch of save files, which is great. You can save it at certain points in the game, but it also autosaves occasionally, which is good. So if boss fights happen, you die, you don't have to go right all the way back to your save point. It kind of takes you to the room before it or something like that, which is really good. The weird thing though is when I save it, I noticed this when I first played it. I played it for half an hour, whatever it was, and then I put the Switch into sleep mode. Oh, well, I paused the game. I didn't quit the game. When I went back to it later on, it said, and I saved it the next time, it said I'd been playing for like 4 hours or 5 hours or something. And I'm like, I haven't been playing that long. What's going on here? It's like the timer keeps running as long as the game is running, even though you're not playing it. Like literally it's in sleep mode, but it's now I've been playing for 100, like over 100 hours according to the save file, but I haven't. I've been playing for like 10 or 12 hours or something like that. I wondered if that was the case in your one too, Kirk, but
Not that I've seen. Does it tell you this within the game, or like if you check the amount of time you're playing it from outside in like the Switch
I
2
haven't
interface?
checked from the Nintendo's perspective. I assume the Nintendo's, like the Switch 2,
Okay.
would be accurate, but I should check that. This is it within the game, within the save file itself. Like the save
Yeah.
file says,
Okay.
I saved it on this date at this time, and the total runtime is,
Okay.
yesterday when I was playing it, it was like 100, I can't remember, some crazy amount of hours. I'm like, that's not accurate.
I think a lot of games do that if you don't close them out, even if
Okay.
the Switch is asleep.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed that before. I thought that was interesting. It's not a true reflection of the
Maybe the
game.
game is haunted
Yeah,
and
maybe.
it's playing itself.
Yeah.
It's doing its own thing while you're not paying attention.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah. Anyway, I could go on a bit more about it, but I won't because we have other games to talk about. But you get the gist.
Wait, I do have a quick question.
Sure, sure, sure. What's
Well,
up?
two actually. Is the actual title, do they have both Resident Evil and Biohazard? So they have both titles?
Yeah, it's Resident Evil 7 Biohazard Gold Edition, I think is the full title.
Okay. I
Yeah.
think that's neat that they have North American and Japan. But I have to ask, you were talking about the videotapes. Do you
Mm.
know how many videotapes you find?
Uh, no.
I couldn't resist, sorry.
Yeah, it's 45. No, I don't know. I don't know. I think I've
That's
found
the
4.
last thing Ethan needs
Yes.
when he's being chased, to have to thumb through all these videotapes.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes. I think there's like 6 maybe, and I think I found 4. I think 4 or
Okay.
5. I don't know. I might have missed one. Yeah. As I could say so much more about this game. I certainly don't want to spoil things, even though it's an older game, but there is a decision you need to make late game that's quite compelling, and it affects the ending, which is interesting also. Like it's a horror game that also, you're looking for your wife or girlfriend, I can't remember, Mia, who's been kidnapped. She's been missing for 3 years, and suddenly a tape emerges of her saying, help him in this haunted house, whatever. And you go looking for her, and then everything happens. But yeah, it's just yeah, it's really good. I really enjoy this game. I think they've done a really good job. It makes me
Hey,
really want
wait,
to.
I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
have one more question.
sure.
When you say haunted, like,
Oh,
is
it's not.
Resident Evil okay, I was gonna say, are
It's
they going supernatural
no,
now, or is
it's
it
not haunted. It just looks haunted. It's there's
okay,
monsters like zombies. It's the
I
zombie
get you.
type of thing. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Sorry, I use the word haunted. It looks haunted, but it's not. There's
I
no
figured that's what you
ghosts.
meant. I was just
Yeah,
making sure that
yeah. Sorry,
they weren't going
I
into
should
another realm.
clarify. Yeah, yeah. But it does make me want to play both 8 and 9, to be honest. So maybe I'll get Requiem. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, let's see what Kirk thinks of Resident Evil Village.
Before I get into it, I have one question for you
Sure.
too, because we got offered both of these codes at the same time, and I
Mhm.
took a look at both of them, and I decided on taking 8 because I like the setting more.
Mm.
It was more of like a gothic kind of castle, European castle, and I thought,
Mm.
okay, this is more my kind of taste for horror. But what's your setting like? I know it takes place in
It
Louisiana, but are you like
does.
out in the swamps or anything?
Kind of. Sometimes, yeah. You are in various dwellings within the swampy, outback of Louisiana, which is a strange setting, but it's creepy, because it's dark. You're in the middle of nowhere. I know Louisiana is pretty swampy. Like I was reading a book recently that was set there, and so I looked up Louisiana just to like see what it looked like, and there's a lot of swamps in Louisiana. And I'm kind of scared of the swamps because who knows what happens there? And there's alligators and all sorts. But yeah, you're mostly in a house, really. The swamps don't really impact you too much. It's more that you're in these there's quite large houses, and there's a few of them, a few houses that are kind of connected. It's like the old house and the main house, and then there's like a boathouse. There's a trailer. And you kind of have to go back and forth a little bit, but more or less each house is kind of a chapter sort of thing. And then sort of towards the end, you do get into a little boat in a swamp, and then there's like this shipwreck kind of thing that happens. That's also there. So there are swamp elements, but yeah, it's not super part of it. The antagonists are like from Louisiana, I guess. Like they have that sort of southern accent, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know why it's set there, but it is.
Okay.
Mm. I like the sound of yours though. To be honest, I probably would have chosen that too. But I have had a good time with the setting has been fine. Like it's still scary, and there's like I don't know if yours has this or not because it is a different setting. And I don't know if this is related to Louisiana, but there's lots of mold everywhere. There's lots of like gross stuff in the houses. I think that's more to do with the biohazard, like the virus or whatever, than the setting. But still.
Yeah, I haven't fully completed mine. I haven't really come across anything like that. I think that might have been specific to that. There's a lot
Yeah.
of flour bags.
Oh, what?
You need to use those as defense.
Oh, okay.
I'll get to that. I do need to be a little careful in talking about this because it is a direct sequel to Seven. It's Village, but if you look at it the way they wrote it, it's also Resident Evil 8. So you're playing as Ethan again, and you're in Europe now. And again, did you finish yours, or you're just right there?
I'm right there. Yes.
Okay.
Very close to the end.
All
Yes.
All right, and I'll be careful. All right, you're Ethan, and you're like things go wrong. We'll put it that way. You're kind of quickly you're forced to be like running through these woods. I'll say at the beginning that no, I can't. I don't know. All right. Yeah, I can't ruin anything for you. All
Okay.
right. So, but you're running through these woods. You come across this village, which obviously has seen better days. Things are going very badly there, and off in the distance, there's this castle. You can kind of see that in the screenshots. But the village is being attacked by these like wolf people, kind of thing. I had forgotten how you play a Resident Evil game, and I had some weapons, and at one point these wolves are coming at me, and I'm shooting them, and I'm doing well, but they do not stop. And like Ethan at one point even says, they won't quit coming. They're always these things are not going to quit coming. I've got apparently to go move somewhere else to trigger what happens next. So yeah, getting back into the habit of not wanting to kill everything that was coming at me and just avoid them. Like he has the ability to block, but you're basically running from them for the most part. You do have a knife still that you could do some damage with, but there was one part early where like before this happens, and you've fought a couple of these things, and I'm coming out of this house and I can see in the skyline, like, there's this gray sky and the castle may have been in the background, but there's a rooftop and I can see one of these wolf people on top of it. And he's just standing there, like not moving. And I'm like, okay, well, he's not attacking me. So I'm going to see if I can sneak by him. And he looks at me and slowly backs down the other way roof. And I thought, no. What did I do wrong? And sure enough, pretty soon they're all coming at me.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, and so they do a lot like that with the scares of like something's going to go wrong. It's like when you're in the haunted house and you have to walk down the long hallway. I brought this up before. Something's going to jump out at you.
Yeah.
But you don't know when. You don't know where it's going to come from. And that to me is my favorite part of these games. So yeah, I talked before about the only Resident Evil game I played that I really enjoyed was 4. This one doesn't play exactly like 4. First of all, it's a first person shooter, although you can flip it. So it's third person instead. But there are some segments that have to be in first person. So I don't know why you would just keep the whole thing in first person as you're playing. But yeah, so it's got a lot of good scares like that. Like you, I'm enjoying it more than I thought it would. Once I got into the flow to how these games are supposed to be played. It was funny too because I was playing it, and Tyranny, who's played Resident Evil games in the past, was watching just a bit of it, and she said, "This is not the Resident Evil game I remember playing." It's like, well, yeah, I think she played the first ones all the way back on, might have been on the PlayStation. Maybe the
Yeah.
first one she had that on. Um,
Right.
so yeah, a really good game, really intense, a lot of really bonkers characters that you meet. It's got, this one has a very gothic tone to it, but it also has a really good sense of humor, I think, about what it is. It's very aware of the kind of horror and bizarre comedy that it brings into it that just, it makes it really fun to play, scary or not.
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate to me. I would agree with that. Yeah. Yeah, the characters are a good point. They are quite odd
Yeah,
sometimes.
like way over the top,
Yes.
extremely over the top.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh, well, I'm glad to hear you're enjoying that one. Excellent. Shall we give Trev a turn at speaking about a game that he's playing?
It'll be quick because there's a lot of embargo stuff
Mm-hmm.
with Monster Hunter Stories 3, Twisted Reflection. A lot of disclaimers in the email with the code, and even to load up the game is like, I don't know. Capcom's got so much legal fine print about it's. I don't know how long it would take to read it all. Like you just scroll to the bottom and accept it, but I
Mm.
digress. Anyway, I've talked about this a little bit already because on past shows because I did play the demo,
Mm-hmm.
and thankfully this picks up um, where my save file ended for the demo, so saved me about 4 hours of replay. Um, yeah, I just want to mention I'm playing it. Beyond that, I can't really say a whole lot, except that there are multiple versions. If you're looking to pre-order it,
Mm-hmm.
there's the basic version is $70. Then there's like a deluxe version that's 90 and a premium that's 100 with various bonuses and DLC content. So, um, yeah, if you're into this series or into this game, peruse that. See which one you think is good for you. I think the embargo lifts a day before release, which I think is on the 12th. So, hopefully, I will do what I can to get that out in a timely manner. My wife's already doing some side quests. I told her don't do anything story related without me. But
Mm.
she's playing as I'm talking, so
Yeah.
stay tuned for more.
Nice. Very cool. Thank you, Trev. Yeah, we do look forward to hearing about more. So that's out. Was the 13th, is it? So that's
Yeah.
Friday week, basically. 2 weeks away, whatever. Yeah. Cool. That'll be good. Should be a big one. I'll quickly talk about Pokemon Leaf Green because that was a game that we knew was coming out on Pokemon Day, the 27th of February. Was Pokemon Leaf Green and Fire Red, which are the Game Boy Advance versions of Green and Red, the original Game Boy games. So I did pick up Leaf Green. You were right. I got the green one, Trev. So I've been playing through a little bit, just a couple hours. I've not played this before, so it's really neat for me. One thing I won't spend too much time on it, but it is a classic game. I think a lot of people were very excited that this was a thing that was available. And one thing I really love playing one of these, super old games, like this is one of the original games. I mean, it's a redone version of the original game, but it's still 20 odd years old. So, as someone who mostly plays the newer games, it's little things like the sounds that when you go into a Pokemon Center and they heal your Pokemon, it's the same sound. They've just kept it, throughout the history. And I love that. I love that it's very much, it means the new games are paying a sort of homage to the older games still. The little things are still intact, and I think that's really good. So in this one, you get to choose your character. It's not like Ash or anything. You can choose who you want to be, male or female. You give yourself a name. You can name your antagonist or your rival. They call it your rival trainer. The professor gives you a mission. You go around collecting Pokemon. The battles are like random encounters, which is interesting. So you can't see the Pokemon on the map. You just will randomly be told you have to fight one, then you can catch them. You have to. I don't have a lot of Pokeballs at this point in time. I don't know if that's a thing with the older games. In the new ones, I seem to have so many Pokeballs and so much money, like in Legends. I was I had a lot of cash. And this one I'm
Yeah.
struggling a little bit, but it's still early, so maybe I don't know. I don't know how long the game is. I don't imagine it's a super long game, being a Game Boy Advance game, but I don't know. And it's
How random are the battles? Because I've gotten spoiled being able to see on the map
yeah,
like where they are. Like
yeah, like you can
how many
avoid
steps
them.
can you take?
It varies, probably 10 or so on average, maybe. I'd
Hmm.
say. And that's usually the grass area. So if you walk on the path
Yeah.
or the flat grass, I guess, as opposed to like the visual grass, you will avoid them. So you can do that too. And so sometimes they have, like, say you're going north to a village, you have to take the grass path. And so you have more battles. But coming back, there's little hills you can jump down. You can't go up the hills on the way to the village, but coming back, you can. So you can avoid them a bit more easily on the way back. So there's things like that. They're all very easy so far. Like I chose Bulbasaur and he's level 12, I think, now. And I've leveled up Pidgey as well, and he's like level 10. So I've got two strongish, like they're not that strong, but they're strong compared to the people I'm fighting, which are like level 2, 3. Where I'm up to now is like 5, maybe 8 is the highest I've seen, I think, maybe 9. So yeah, I'm not finding terribly hard Pokemon at this point. And then there's some trainers who are just wandering around wanting to battle you, so you can battle them and you earn money for those ones. So yeah, I mean it's really cool. The music is really cute. Like I said, the music is on Nintendo Music, so I was listening to that before the game came out. Actually, it's really nice kind of music. It's not on 45 cartridges. It's just on the one. Yeah, it looks really great. I love the Game Boy Advance kind of era. You know, it's sort of like a portable Super Nintendo in a way, like in terms of being 16-bit style, I think, graphics. So I like that style. I think it looks pretty neat. You can only walk in 4 directions, not 8. So you can't walk diagonally, which I was like, oh, okay, but that's fine. That's old school, but that's what it is, right? So yeah. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think it's really fun. I'll keep playing it in the background.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's go to Kirk because this is another big release that came out just recently, and it's kind of the first of these for the Switch, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I think it is. But it's not the first one I played.
Mm.
Um, I'm playing Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. I'm only about 4 or 5 hours into it, so I don't have a whole lot to say at the moment. But Fallout and Fallout 2 were two of, if not my top 5, definitely my top 10 games I ever played on the Mac. I absolutely love those games.
Cool.
But they were more my style. They were like, I think I mentioned isometric, turn-based combat games, RPGs. This one is first-person shooter throughout most of it.
Mm.
Um, and the premise is it's actually it threw me at the beginning because the first Fallout and Fallout 2 both take place after the war. These are obviously after nuclear annihilation has pretty much wiped out everything we know about the Earth, and then it's about survival afterwards. Most people were in fallout shelters. I think the plot of the first one was there was something wrong with the shelter that they were in, so they had to send a guy out to try to find another one to get something. It was so long ago I can't recall. In this one, it starts out before the war.
Ah.
But you're very quickly, the war begins very soon after the game starts, and then there's an absolute bonkers, like, this makes no sense, so I'm not going to think about it, reason why we jump with the same character 200 years after the war. So, they don't want it to take place immediately after the bombs drop. Um, but so we advance to 200 years in the future, and then it's him or her, depending on how you set up your character, exploring, going around, fighting off all kinds of beasts and mutants, and building relationships. The one thing that I don't like about it so far is that you can pick up pretty much everything. From you figure if you come across a body and it's got like weapons, you're going to take it. You're going to take the bullets. You're going to take the stim packs, as they call them, for health. But you could pick up desk fans and ashtrays and coffee cups and everything. And your inventory is so large. I don't know if you ever saw the movie Labyrinth, but there's
Mm.
the junk lady witch woman with all those things on her back and living in it. That's got to be what this guy looks like with everything that he's carrying.
Yeah.
Um, and you can use it like there are so many ways to upgrade things and upgrade your weapons, and you're assigning perks to be able to use certain ones better. There's just so much management at the beginning that it's really hard to get into at the start. But then after you start meeting people and the missions become a little more apparent, you get a little more drive, then it becomes more fun. So that's right where I'm at right now, and I'm looking forward to getting past that and getting further down into the story.
Cool. Sounds very interesting. So, did you say the same person from 200 years ago is in the future? Yeah.
Yeah, there's there's a whole subplot with cryogenic
Okay.
chambers.
Yeah.
So yeah, he wakes up 200 years in the future, but his service robot, because this takes place in kind of like an alternate Earth where, or maybe it's the future. I don't know. Yeah, it takes place. I think like it starts maybe in 2077.
Mhm.
So he's got like a robot butler, more or less, who helps around the house and with the family. And after he emerges from the shelter, the one of the first things he does is go back to his house, and his robot is still there doing its thing.
Wow.
Despite him being, I think it's actually he mentions that it's closer to 210 years since the bombs fell, and the robot was still working. So quality technology.
Yeah, that's cool. Excellent. Glad you're enjoying it by the sounds of it. Thank you, Kirk.
Yeah. Oh, there is one thing I want to bring up because
Mm.
I haven't done it yet. Well, this comes with 6 expansions, the anniversary edition of this game, and over 150 Creation Club items, which I haven't looked into because I don't know exactly what that is yet. But all of these games had featured a dog named Dogmeat. And you do meet Dogmeat right away, which is great because he is a very, very useful dog. Very good to have around. But one of the updates this time is you can change Dogmeat's breed.
Oh, okay. From
So
into what options do you have?
well, he looks like a German Shepherd, like a little bit bigger though. Is there like another dog that looks like a German Shepherd but is bigger? Um,
Don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I have to look. I got to see what the breeds are because now that I'm a bit further into the game and I've let people be who they are or dogs be who they are, I think it's time to customize them to match my dog.
Yeah, it looks like he is a German Shepherd by default, I think, according to Google. So,
Okay.
yeah, which is cool. I don't know what he can change into, but that's neat. I wonder if you can
Yeah.
change him into a King Charles Cavalier, like my dog Lego.
Yeah. Or an Australian Kelpie.
Yeah.
I'll see if we can pull that off.
Yeah, well, kelpies would be useful, I imagine, in an apocalyptic situation. They're
Yeah, a little small, but excellent working herding dogs.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess if your dog's carrying things, you need a bigger dog, right? So, yeah. Very
But
cool.
yeah, more on this one for sure next week.
Nice. Thank you, Kirk. Trev, we have time for one more game from you. What else are you playing this week?
Well, now I kind of want to talk about the movie Labyrinth.
I know,
And
it's
the
been a
junk lady.
been a long time since I've seen that one, but yeah. David
Oh,
Bowie, my
great,
gosh, so cool.
great film. One of my favorites.
Mm.
Anyway,
Absolutely.
I'll be quick on this one too, not because of any embargo things, but just because it's an older game,
Mhm.
and that's Prison City. And the reason I'm reviewing this now is, well, two reasons. One, they just did an update to the game, and I'm just quoting the press release. New mechanics, an alternate route to existing stage, brand new mini games, and additional surprises for players. What does all that mean? You'll have to stay tuned for my review. Um, but secondly, this game's getting a physical release via limited run games, and that's running through till March 22nd. So if you're a fan of NES style games, that's what this is. In fact, it's inspired by one of my favorite NES games, a game called Power Blade.
Hmm.
So a lot of fun, classic 8-bit esque platforming and exploration, and just really, really enjoying it. It's a game I missed when it first came out back in at the end of 2023, and I did have it on my wish list. So now that it's getting an update and a physical release, I'm looking forward to doing my part just to get it back into the public eye a little bit. So stay tuned for my review. And spoiler, I'm really, really enjoying it.
It does look very cool. Yeah. Side scrolling action. And it's on sale at the moment, 20% off until the 4th, I think, of March.
Nice.
So a couple of days after this episode airs. Yeah. It's only $7.99 on special. So that's pretty good.
Oh, that's a steal.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it does
See,
look neat.
also the regular price only $9.90. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
I
it's
figured it would have been closer to 15. But
there you go. Yeah, well, how many?
that's good. Obviously, the physical is going to be more, but that just comes with the territory. So,
Yeah, that's true. Like, how many kind of levels are we talking about? Do we know?
let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's 8, and there's possible like an emboss level after that. I've beaten 7 of them. I still got to beat one more. Is really tripping me up. It's inspired by NES games, so the challenge is pretty high.
Mm,
Thankfully, they do have difficulty settings, but it doesn't have like a rewind feature or anything like that. So that I know
yeah.
of.
Yeah.
So yeah, the levels they're not huge, but they're definitely levels set up so you have to explore. You can't just get to the end. The levels, scroll not just left to right, but up and down, and you have to find an agent within each level to get a key card so you can exit the level to get to the boss. So a lot of times you'll find the door and you won't be able to access it because you haven't found the agent with the key card. They're at the opposite end of the level.
Yeah.
So
He looks a bit like Kurt Russell in Escape from LA or something. Is it that sort of
I, w-
deal?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like, that was
Yeah.
a prison city, wasn't it? Wasn't LA like a prison and he was trying to escape? Is that what the movie
I
was
don't
Was
about?
that
know.
the sequel? Escape from New
Oh,
York
New
was the
York was the
first
first one?
one.
Sorry.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they made a sequel called Escape from LA. So yeah, you're still right.
Yeah. That's the vibe I'm getting from the screenshot. Like, just the look of him being an angry dude, an action dude trying to escape from a city. It sounds like
Yeah.
Escape from New York. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Love that. Thank you, Trev. Hopefully you do enjoy it, and we'll look forward to your full review. And somehow we've made it to the end of the show. Look at that. We had a lot to cover this week. Any final thoughts from either of you before we do close things off for the week?
Nah,
think
just
I've
thanks
talked
for the
enough.
comments as always, people who comment.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Thank you so much. It really does mean a lot to us. We love.
Thanks, Jose. I didn't know you were a Pats fan too. That's
Yeah,
awesome. Thanks for
no.
that.
How cool is that?
Oh
We'll get
no,
him
I'm
next
I'm
year.
sorry if I offended any of our readers with my Seahawk fandom.
No.
I was just trying to offend Trev all this time.
No.
I noticed the numbers took a dip last week.
Yeah. I know, right? Yeah.
Because everyone was at the Super Bowl parade.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Uh,
Yeah, no, thank you both for joining me this week. Thank you, listeners. We have, I guess, an update on our magazine, which is ready to print. So look forward to seeing that coming your way very soon. If you'd like to subscribe, I guess it's not too late this week. You could still jump on board. This is probably the last week for this issue. Head on over to patreon.com/PureNintendo and get yourself a copy of the Pure Nintendo magazine, which will be, as I said, distributed very shortly. If you'd like to follow us on social media, we are on Blue Sky and on Instagram. Thank you, Kirk, for the follow last week. But until next week, thank you and game on, everybody. Bye.
so long.